Hi, today is September 26, 2023, and here are my poems for the day. The first one is poem number 1551 for the year, Refracted. Refracted, reflected, distracted, dejected, inflected, injected, rejected, reactive, intensive, intended, distended, disjointed, anointed, appointed, anointed, anointed. Poem number 1552, Salt. It's a haiku. The glass was lifted, like when Lot's wife turned around. Please pass me the salt. Poem number 1553, The Question of Influence. She looked so good, he wanted to stab himself in the dick. His cologne was so bad, he wanted to stab himself in the dick. The music was so good, he wanted to stab himself in the dick. He felt so bad, he wanted to stab himself in the dick. The food was so good, he wanted to stab himself in the dick. The menu was so extensive, he wanted to order the vegan duck and then stab himself in the dick. Or perhaps the external conditions had no actual influence on his desire to stab himself in the dick. Maybe, whatever, no matter, and regardless, he just wanted to stab himself in the dick. Poem number 1554, The Cannibal Exception. A group of vegans got together and called me up and told me their new plan was to eat all the carnivores so as to decrease the suffering of non-human animals. They said that they had decided that there was a cannibal exception to veganism, and they asked me if I would like to join their movement, the Vegans Eat Carnivores movement, the VEC. I told them I would have to think about it. I've been vegan for at least a quarter century, and at least 20 years ago I myself had speculated about the cannibal exception to veganism. But the thing is, many of my very closest friends eat animal products, and I think I would miss them if they were gone, even though I don't like when they say I could never be vegan, when what they really mean is it is more important to me to eat what I consider to be the most delicious food than it is to concern myself with the suffering of sentient beings. I still feel as though there is still hope for some of them. Maybe I am naive, but I like to believe that at least some of my friends will wake up one day to the horror of what they are doing and stop doing it, and then maybe stop other people from doing it too. The carnivore that I eat today could be the St. Paul of veganism tomorrow. So even though I support the Vegans Eat Carnivores movement in theory, and even though I agree that there is a cannibal exception to veganism, I had to tell the VEC no. I'm not going to eat non-human animal products or human animal products, at least not for the time being. And the last poem of the day is poem number 1555, The Interlopers. The interlopers loped, and the loppers lopped, and the sloven were sloppy, and the slow were slow. The slow got there eventually, and the sloven cleaned up their act, and the loppers stopped lopping off heads. But the interlopers continued to lope. They taught the slow how to descend the slope. They taught the sloven the correct use of soap. And they taught the loppers that there can be hope, even after the head lopping time is over. All right, that's it. Thank you. I appreciate you. I do. Thanks.